안녕하세요. 인텔 오버워치 에이펙스 시즌 1 아나운서 강민진입니다. 에이펙스 초반에 예상치 못한 경기력으로 모두를 감탄케 한 아마추어 팀들이 있었죠. 한동안 모습을 볼 수 없던 이들이 드디어 오늘부터 16강 마무리에 나섭니다. 일주일이면 강산이 변하는 이 에이펙스에서 그동안 갈고 닦은 실력을 마음껏 보여줄 수 있을지 정말 기대가 되는데요. 또 오늘은 경기가 끝나면 처음으로 8강 티켓을 거머쥘 두 팀을 만나볼 수 있습니다. 더욱더 뜨거워지는 인텔 오버워치 에이펙스 시즌 1 뜨거운 응원 부탁드리면서 오늘의 첫 경기 지금 시작합니다.
Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 Round Robin. Today's matchup, Flash Lux, Rogue.
Hey guys, welcome. It's the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1. I am Doa. Next to me, as usual, is Monte Cristo. And guess what, Monte Cristo?
What, Doa?
Well, the group stages have been awesome, but they are starting to draw to a close. This is going to be, in fact, the next 3 days are going to be the final days of the group stage. And this is where the games really, really matter. I mean, we have big impacts from both of our matches tonight.
Yeah, it is pretty much a foregone conclusion. Rogue is through to the next round no matter what happens. They could lose 3-0 today, and they still will be making it out in first or second place from this group. If they win, they lock up with a sweep of the group. So far, they have yet to drop a map in this group, so gotta believe they're probably going to do just fine tonight versus Flash Lux, but Energy will be fighting for their life in this tournament in the second match.
It is good to note, too, that if Flash Lux somehow manages to beat Rogue tonight, they will also go through, and then it would be Rogue and Flash Lux through in that group. So.
Also possible, theoretically, still for Flash Lux to take first in this group. So,
yeah, that's true.
Pretty interesting stuff.
They've only played one game. The last time we saw Flash Lux was the very first day of the entire season. It was October 7th. That was a while ago now.
And it was not spectacular Overwatch that they showed us,
but not really. They won.
They did, but it was also, they've had 5 weeks to practice.
Yeah.
And they haven't had any matches, so who knows how much their skills may have improved.
I mean, I can't think of any other tournament where there's been such a big gap of time between one team's first match and their second match. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, this was also caused by the scheduling issues regarding the Overwatch World Cup and APAC, so kind of a double whammy of weird scheduling caused this to occur. Normally this wouldn't happen, but...
And speaking of weird scheduling, we've got a little bit of a weird schedule this week, too, because instead of just Monday, Wednesday, Friday like we normally have, we've actually got matches Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So 3 days of Overwatch in a row and then a break before we start. The one-day break, rather, before we start the round of 8.
Yeah, and the Friday will be the first quarterfinal, so that's going to be exciting. Also, at some point, presumably this week, there may be a patch this week.
Maybe. Who knows?
We actually don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but because we are on the live server, it will be instantly applied.
See, I'm used to this from Hearthstone, but you're kind of new to this,
No,
I guess, at this
I'm really not a fan of this, Noah.
Well, it's it's interesting because we talked to the teams, we talked about their practice and all that, and I've been curious. I'm like, how's the Sombra thing been going? Nobody's really been practicing her. They're like, well, yeah, we'll try her out when she hits live, and we'll worry about it then. But there's our groups, how things are lining up so far. As you can see, we'll see matches today from groups A and B. That'll basically decide those groups.
Yes. Obviously, there will be a little bit of a possibility of Flash Lux or Africa Blue going through. We'll decide that in a couple of days' time on Wednesday. But Group B, again, Energy versus BK Stars. Whoever wins that match will be hitting the playoffs.
Yeah, despite the fact that Energy winning would make a 3-way 2-1 tie, there's other things beyond that too, game score, stuff like that. So basically,
basically the way it works, guys, is I'll just explain it briefly.
Yeah.
If you get a 3-0, you get +6 match points. If you get a 3-1, you get +5, and if you get a 3-2, you get +4.
Right.
So based on those point totals, whoever wins between BK and Energy will be heading on to the next round.
Yeah.
And depending on who wins, it will be one of those teams will be basically if Energy wins, they'll be in second place. If BK Stars win, they will be in first place.
Yeah. So really, all you need to worry about is whoever wins goes through, whoever loses doesn't. That's it. That's what I'm going to focus on.
It's
'cause
do
I don't
or
understand
die.
any other stuff.
It's do or die for these teams today.
That's right.
Less do or die for Rogue, considering their already impressive performance of 2-3-0s.
It's do and just be fine no matter what happens.
Pretty much, but. There is a big advantage, of course, to being that first seed. You're not going to play another first seed in any case, so it does make your tournament life a whole hell of a lot easier. So exciting. We also will be having a bracket draw after the matches on Wednesday this week, so you can stick around and we'll see how the brackets are going to shake out for this particular.
We've heard that'll be pretty interesting.
It
should
actually be very entertaining. We won't spoil it for you guys right now, but it should be fun.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely check that out as well. So, I mean, our first match, Rogue obviously looking very good lately, looking like the tournament favorites right now from what we've seen so far. And, the fact that they had some people at BlizzCon, I don't think is going to affect them too much. And like we talked about with Flash Lux, they just barely beat their opponents in that first match season, RG Titan. And that was probably one of the messiest best of fives we've had so far. So I don't think Rogue's going to have too much trouble with these guys. But, again, we haven't seen them in 5 weeks. So who knows? They could have become, like, Overwatch gods by then. It all depends on the practice, I suppose.
Yeah, Flash Lux has been an interesting team, too, because, again, only one best of 5 of data to take a look at. But they have preferred, interestingly, triple tank composition. So Hamtol, their second DPS player, does like to play a lot of Zarya when he's not playing Reaper. And Aquino, interestingly, played 8 different heroes in one best of 5.
Like we
that
said,
is a lot.
It was messy.
It was sloppy.
Yeah. So, again, these guys are going to need to show a whole lot better of an amount of coordination, individual play, basically everything you can name if they're going to have any chance against Rogue. But, again, I mean, today is kind of the day of exciting amateur teams, right? Flash Lux made a big impression on the scene already by their run through the qualifiers. It was impressive. They did take out RG Titan in their first match. And that's a wireless mouse. That's right, Yuck uses a wireless mouse. That is a brave thing to do in FPS, but he does it. But back to what I was saying. I mean, these guys, for an amateur team, certainly do look good. So we'll see if there's been any improvement in the last, slightly over a month.
Yeah, that's the big factor. And in over a month, that's basically 1/6 or 1/5 of Overwatch's time since release. So it actually is a pretty significant amount. You compare it to how long this game has been available for wide play.
Yeah,
it could have made a huge difference. We just don't know.
It certainly is time to make a difference. And there he is, Sweden's 7th most popular Overwatch player. It's Reinforce. And the rest
lucky
of Rogue.
Number 7.
That's right. Lucky number 7. That's what we call him.
He was lucky because he got to be on the desk with us, Noah.
He was very lucky, I felt. I felt he was enriched as a person by being so close to us through all of BlizzCon for the Overwatch World Cup.
I corrupted him, actually.
Did you?
I did.
He still seems like a good guy to me. I don't know. There's still good in him. I can feel it.
The corruption's on the inside, Noah. It's fine. He's hiding it. He's hiding it well.
No, so you're expecting kind of like, is this like a Sith master apprenticing going? So Reinforce will kill you at some point in the future.
I assume so.
Watch out for the lightsaber through the back. It's going to come a little bit higher than other lightsabers.
He's got a long way to go
yet
before he can where he can take down the dark Sith Lord of esports, Monte Cristo.
The desk force is strong with this one. Well, looks like we're going to be starting things out on Nepal today for our control map. And again, if you're unfamiliar with the format, the loser gets to pick the next map out of the available pool that we have. We don't have every map available for every best of 5, but there's like 3 to choose from, 2 for the assault maps. You get the idea.
Absolutely, and Ilios is still disabled due to some dropping issues on the map, so
Yeah.
it is only Li Jiang and Nepal, as you may have noticed throughout the course of this tournament. Also, just so people are aware, there is a confirmed bug with Genji, where if he is nano boosted and using Reflect, we'll get into it in a second.
Yeah, it's a fun one. All right, guys, here we go. Flash Lux versus Rogue. Flash Lux trying to get their way to the quarterfinals, see if they can do it. Rogue's a tough opponent. Let's get in the game.
I get it.
All right, guys, welcome to Nepal.
So quickly, that
Go
bug,
ahead.
or as Papa Smithy likes to call them, hidden features. The hidden feature with Genji,
He invented that, I'm pretty sure.
hidden feature with Genji
Yeah.
is that if you are nano boosted and using Reflect, you are actually immune to all sources of damage. Now, all teams in Apex have agreed to not disable Genji. So
Yes,
this
that's
has
right.
been a choice that the teams are aware of and that they have consented to.
That says Flash Lux win. See if they do. It's going to be really hard against a team like Rogue as we move out onto our first point here on Nepal. Pretty normal stuff it looks like out of both sides. Aquino on that Roadhog, of course, over on the Flash Lux side of things. That's a tussle on the Shrine. And nice hook on Tavik already. Wow, he goes down. Kills on both sides here. Hamtall on the McCree. Things getting a little bit messy already on the point, but they're backing off. It looks like Rogue will be able to just bully Flash Lux off the Shrine. Goodbye. Go.
Yeah, great target selection there from Rogue,
Yep.
making sure that they get everybody down one by one, and they are brutally split spawning them, but
Yeah.
it's like Wynn's going to walk a little bit too far forward there, and everybody's going to have to fall back on top of the point. 7% now, so
I mean,
very effective early push, and Tavik, he just thought he had the wall without the line of sight, but Aquino found a way with the hook around the side. Now
Take a nap.
he's going to take a very
Oh, wow.
brief 5-second nap.
That was a really nice flashbang from Hamtall. Looks like they're not quite able to gain any purchase on the point, though. Just got to build those ultimates up. I hear Nano Boost, and here comes the Reaper. AKM pops that Death Blossom, gets 2 right away, and Flashlux just getting dominated on Shrine so far.
Yeah, wall there just to make sure that nobody's going to be able to escape from the Reaper. And here we go.
Put your heart into Vic. I guess that's what that sign meant. I don't know.
Heart
Does he
goes
need
to
two hearts?
Tavik and AKM, I guess.
Oh, okay. Swapping hearts.
Maybe they're offering to donate their organs.
Yeah, well, there you go. Someday when it's like the cybernetic Overwatch teams, they only need a couple human organs to function. Those guys right there, they got some hearts available. Hamtall being sneaky here. He's got the Deadeye up.
Yeah, but they just lost Wiso. Kicked
Yeah.
off at the start of the fight, and this has been a bit brutal. Akino is going to switch off the Roadhog thanks to AKM and Tavik playing Reaper in May. Not going to
Yeah.
be too terribly effective against those two heroes, and also die quite quickly. Hamtol looking for the angle right now with the Deadeye.
All right, there we go. He's going to pop the Deadeye, and meanwhile, the Graviton Surge wrapping up his whole team. He goes down. Nox gets a kill with that Ana. Well, actually, no, that was the that was a Lucio that finished him off. That's a brave Lucio right there. Meanwhile, Wins helping out clean off the rest of the Flashlux players from the point by Aquino. And the thing is, we've seen Flashlux once, but if Aquino can't carry, these guys have some serious problems. He's supposed to be their main DPS. He's kind of their quote-unquote star player, but they're having some big issues here. They got a lot else to work with, though. There's a nano boost onto Wiso. He drops the Earth Shatter, not too bad. They've got the sound barrier to keep him up as well. Kills coming in, though, and they are not blue. They are all on the side of Rogue. AKM has his nano boost on the Reaper now, and it looks like that's going to be about that. As overtime ticks down, Rogue's going to take a very smooth 0.1 here on Nepal.
And the worst thing about that, Doa, was it was like 4 ults to 1. Basically,
Yeah.
the nice thing for Flashlux was on that second fight when they popped the Deadeye. That was the only ult that they used, so they had a strong push incoming with a 3 ult advantage, but unfortunately for them, they couldn't actually capitalize on it, and they kept getting picked off. The target selection, the focus fire from Rogue, vastly superior to what we saw from Flashlux right there.
I mean, honestly, it didn't even look like Rogue was having to try there.
Nope.
People were just messing around. I mean, they weren't really paying attention to their positioning. They were doing what you would call way overextending if you were playing against a better team. But in this particular case, it doesn't look like it's going to make a big difference.
Pound for pound, they're just hitting harder.
Yeah,
Player
looks
for
like
player. So we'll see what happens. Humtol is going to go over to the Genji now, so a bit of a switch up. And Rogue's going to do the usual Rogue thing, Doa, and that means Bastion on Village.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've seen Tvik pull this out many, many times. Generally, he's very, very good at that.
Yeah,
His positioning.
I love Bastion on Village, Doa, because
Yeah.
basically in the high ground showdown that happens between teams, you can just break the Reinhardt shield, the enemy Reinhardt shield, so much faster. Now, they don't have one of those, but basically when they fall down, you get great sight lines, and Reinforce and Winds provide all of that cover here, and that Winston is just going to die.
Oh, there goes Wiso. Got to be careful over the Genji round. He has to back away. Pops back in there again. He's got a Reaper to worry about. Forces him into Wraith form. He's going to be okay for the moment. Yet again, maybe somebody in the back, a straggler. Yeah, they found Aquino. Trying to get away.
Yeah, but
With that teleport, looks like he'll make it out for the moment.
yeah, the Genji comes in, but the Winston goes in a little bit earlier, eats the vast majority of the turret damage,
Yep.
and that's pretty much it. That is a nice pickoff. They get onto Aquino right there just by getting a little bit aggressive onto the point.
Yep. Meanwhile, Flashlux moving back into the point themselves. Hamtal does have that Dragon Blade, trying to reflect into that Genji, but the Reinhardt shield is there, reinforced, keeping his Bastion safe for the moment.
Yeah, they have switched it up to the Diva from the Winston as a result of seeing this Bastion pick. So they can use the defense matrix to block most of that damage, but they have to get close. And the problem is that
Uh-oh. Gotta be careful here. Looking for some options, doesn't find anybody. Meanwhile, we've got Tvik. He's got the nano boost, he's got the configuration tank, and he's got the kills. Rogue just tearing Flashlux apart yet again.
They got a little bit of time on the point right there, but not enough to actually flip it. So Rogue, great defense. And what I love about the Bastion too, though, is it just opens up the entire map for AKM. You'll notice he's playing high ground while Tvik has been on the low ground.
Right.
He gets so many free shots. This composition works because if you try and dive in there with a Genji and you're focusing on reflecting the damage coming out of the Bastion, you just get flashbanged and bopped in the head.
Oh, Pummel's got the Graviton Surge. They're going to go for it here. Any combo. Where's the follow-up? I'm just not seeing it right now. Wiso is just in the middle of there hanging out.
Well, they killed
getting the
Tvik.
kills. Yeah, I mean, they got Tvik, but they didn't really get anybody else. No. They literally got nobody else. I think that's the only kill that they've gotten so far on this round.
That is what is so annoying about playing Rogue with this Bastion, Noah. They know how to play around it so well, and you have to invest so many resources in killing the Bastion that, okay, you get him with the Diva and the Genji. Your entire composition is based around shutting down a Bastion, but you get one kill and they get four.
Kino trying to be a bit sneaky, getting in the back, gets hit with the flashbang, though barely gets out with just a tiny bit of health left. Meanwhile, AKM pops that Deadeye. We'll see if we can find anyone with it. We're into overtime. Flashlux close to taking the point. There's a stun barrier, though. Ooh, flashbang kill on the Hamtal. And AKM's going to clean this one up. A couple kills for him. We'll see if we can get a third one. Nope, not quite. Nox gets a bloodthirsty support kill to finish things off, and that's going to be a 2-0 on Nepal. Rogue takes the first map.
200% to 0. Noah, flawless control point performance from Rogue. They are well on their way to heading to the quarterfinals without even dropping a single map.
Well, flawless victory.
Now they're working on a flawless group stage. It would be impressive, especially because they have Africa Blue in their group, who we probably thought would take a map off of Rogue, but they have just been crushing it here in Korea.
Yeah, Africa Blue looked a little bit better in the last round we saw them in, but they didn't quite meet Rogue standards, I would say. Meanwhile, Flashlux, we'll see what map they decide to go with next. But I think this one's going to be pretty quick.
I think so too, Doa. It will be a hybrid escort map, so there is a possibility for a full hold here.
Yep. Certainly is. And G-Clef getting in there. Don't distract the players, please, G-Clef. There's our favorite tank. Reinforce, your apprentice. The ways of evil. Let's see where we're going next. Ikeval and Hollywood Kings Row are the choices, and Flashlux elects to go with the map.
Oh, the suspense is killing me, Doa.
Known as, assumed to be, rumored, it's going to be Kings Row. Okay. A lot of people picking Eichenwald lately, but King's Row will be the choice for Flash Lux. And we'll find out if they can make any sort of headway in this best of 5 as we get ready to go into map number 2.
So this is a map that Tvik likes to play Pharah on. So I'm curious if we are going to see on the attack sides a little bit of Pharah play out of Tvik, who has shown just an extraordinarily deep hero pool over the past couple of months of tournament play.
I think Rogue can kind of play whatever they want at this point, and it's going to work out just fine.
Or the Hanzo, another popular pickup potentially for a first point attack onto King's Row.
Yeah. That's one of the great things about King's Row is I feel like it's one of those maps that you get to see some of the more unique hero picks on.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty fun.
One of the better maps in Overwatch, to be sure.
And offensively. Yeah. All right, it's time. Let's go to King's Row and see if Rogue can get the 2-0 or if Flash Lux will tie it up. Time to get in the game and find out.
I get it.
Here we go. I was worried for a second there, Monte Cristo. I was starting
too.
to sweat there, man. I was starting to feel a bit hot under the collar, but it's okay. We've made it to King's Row. See, it takes a while to get from Nepal to King's Row. That's a long flight. We can do it in approximately 2 to 3 minutes, but
I mean, the future is amazing, Doa. How
it
fast
is,
you can travel the world.
that's right. Well,
All right,
I
well,
think Flash Lux is going to want to travel to a long vacation destination after this best of 5. But for now, they're going to try to pick it up with a bit of offense on King's Row. That was a strange sound for Reinhardt to make. Wow. I'm just kidding. I know it was Anna. No, I'm just kidding. It was Lucio. Lucio.
all right, well, Rogue gonna run again. Typical Beyblade composition. They're really not showing any great, crazy strategy so far in this series. Maybe just trying to play it cool, coast their way into the playoffs without revealing their hand too much. Standard as standard could be, and Flash Lux going to be playing with the Mei also, but they'll switch it up for Aquino onto the McCree for a little bit more long-range hit scan damage onto the Reinhardt shield here.
All right, they're coming in on the low ground. Thought maybe they would take a Mei wall up to the high ground or at least the stairs, but this is a very direct approach. We don't see a lot of teams try this. And the reason is you kind of funnel your way around the statue, and that's a good way to take a ton of damage. Meanwhile, Aquino does get to the side. Got to hit somebody. Nice Mei wall, though. I heard a pin happen, but apparently there was no kill. AKM does get one onto Pumple, though. And Aquino firing without too much harassment from the second level there. AKM on the point. Looks like they're going to go after Aquino now, and he's in big, big trouble. There he goes. The left hook to the face. That's how you take out a cowboy if you're a geophysicist or weather climatologist or whatever it is. Whatever his Mei does.
Climatologist.
Frozen climatologist. That was the name of my new wave synth band in the 80s.
Yeah, pretty nice boost there at the end just to clean it up. They had some pretty good positioning, Flash Lux, but the walls there from Tvik cutting off line of sight and able to get at least Pumple on the low ground. One kill though, so pretty nice back off there besides losing Aquino, and they're looking for some nice nano boosts.
Dropping the Blizzard right away, trying to keep from dying to AKM with that nano boost. AKM though just looping around behind. He's got the Death Blossom, gonna dance his way in there. Only gets a kill on Nikisu, maybe a little bit overeager with that ultimate. We'll see if Flash Lux makes him pay for it.
That was a bit dangerous with no Zarya shield and no Wraith form right there. He had already used the Wraith form to escape the Blizzard. And after the sound barrier came down, he definitely overcommitted to using that Death Blossom instead of backing off with his teammates. We'll see if after this wall falls, they're going to make a play. It looks like Rogue's going to come back in.
They are going for it. Well, Tadik's got the Blizzard, so he can certainly do it. Nice Earth Shatter from Reinforce. Man, he destroyed Flash Lux there. A pin, and that is how you defend the point, apparently. Wow.
That was a great combo. Straight into the Blizzard from Tvik. They're going to defend it for a little bit longer. Very impressive. And you know, Doa, that wall may have been a little bit preemptive there from Flashlux at the choke point. They could have saved the Mei wall to divide Rogue, but instead they put it down early because they thought they were going to be able to cap the point. They mistimed it, and that means that they got a bit of a free engage there without any kind of Mei disruption. And now Rogue has retaken their position right here at the front of point A.
You're absolutely right. Divide and conquer works a bit better than just delayed.
They were just hoping that they would get the point captured beforehand so they wouldn't have to deal with any fighting whatsoever. But the calculation on the time there was just a little bit wrong, and they pay for it.
All right, Nano Boost again. Looks like it went over to Cam, I believe. Yeah, he's got it on that Reaper. See what he can get out of it. There's the kill on Owiso, which I can't say the name of without thinking of Jar Jar Binks, the accursed Jar Jar Binks. Owiso not going to take point A.
Doesn't seem like it at this point, does it?
That's all I gotta say.
Flashlux again has a big ult advantage though compared to Rogue. They only have the Blizzard, but Blizzard is extraordinarily powerful. Flashlux has the counter Blizzard, so maybe they can do something with the sound barrier. This push has got to work though for Flashlux.
Yeah, they've got 25 seconds. It is do or die time right now, or they're going to get full held. Pupple looping around the side. Looks like he might find it. Going in the back. There's the Graviton Surge. Going to use it? No. That's usually when you would see it used. All right, doesn't. Aquino waiting, though. Doesn't get anyone with that Deadeye. Meanwhile, Hoptol does get two. The Blizzard may be helping out a bit here. Wiso goes in with the Nano Boost. He's got the Earth Shatter looking for a place to use it. Rogue loses three, so Flashlux maybe at the end might possibly, yeah, they will finally get the payload rolling, but that was about as close as you can cut it.
It was very close, Doa, but finally, unlike in the last map where they came in with a big ult advantage in Nepal on Shrine, they couldn't actually convert it at the end. This time, though, they do punish Rogue's a little bit more liberal use of ultimates and the commitment to retaking the point, but they're sitting with only 2 minutes left right now. And Rogue will have a suite of ultimates available very soon, including Earth Shatter and both support ults.
All right, well, they divide. They put Reinforce a little bit awkwardly on the other side of the Mei wall. Can't quite finish him off yet, it looks like, as AKM kind of comes around the bottom. Rogue just pushing Flashlux back now. Earth Shatter comes down. I think it was blocked by the Reinhardt shield. Going to go into the charge. Doesn't find anybody. They've got that sound barrier. Meanwhile, AKM receives a Nano Boost. He's going to pop his ultimate. Try to get a few. Gets one, gets two, gets three. Another one possibly coming in as Pupple does go down. And there's a fight that Rogue is happy with. And on top of it, they still have the Blizzard, so they've still got a good way to delay the payload even more.
Yeah, they do, but again, Flashlux is going to be coming up with another 4 ult push here momentarily. I do think Rogue overcommitted to their ultimates right there. I think that once they saw the Earth Shatter miss, they panicked a little bit, tried to use 3 more ults in compensation. Didn't quite have to commit that hard, but we'll see how it pays off. Nice split there from Tavik.
All right, where's the follow-up, though? Hamcall has to use that. Now Deadeye from Aquino, not finding anyone again. Meanwhile, Wiso does go down. There's the Earth Shadow they've been looking for. Reinforced with a big one. That Nano Boosted McCree not going to do anything as Rogue just destroys Flashlux again. What do you do?
Great Lucio chase
What
continues.
There you go. Lucio on Lucio. Lucio wins. Wow. All right, well, the payload's almost back to where it started now.
Now that advantage that Flashlux has evaporated. We'll be seeing a Nano Boost edge for Rogue. Coming into this final fight should be pretty easy for Rogue to clean this one up.
Yeah, both teams with a couple ultimates available. Flashlux is close to their sound barrier. They're going to have it for this fight, but they need to push the payload so far in overtime if they're going to do this. Pupple goes in, starts with that Graviton Surge. There's a Blizzard coming in now. Flashlux trying to get out of it, but everybody's kind of trapped. And AKM, once again, just give this guy the Nano Boost and watch him work. That's going to be about it. Everybody on Flashlux except for a couple members going down. Graviton Surge used just in case people were going to jump in from the top, and that's King's Row held completely by Rogue.
Well, not a full hold, but they did get the payload through the archway. It's not going to be long for Rogue to have to push the cart if they want to win here. Looking a bit dominant as expected, but unable to complete the actual sweep of this series without the enemy team Flashlux taking even a single point. Nice little defense at the end right there too. Great, just the little things that are nice to watch about Rogue. They use the Graviton Surge in the upper halls, and they use the Mei Ice Wall in the lower choke point just to guarantee that nobody was going to be able to come and touch the cart. to prolong the overtime, and there it is, the glowing gold square on the ground, just past the archway and a tiny bit into the streets of London. So shouldn't be too much of an ask here for Rogue. Flashlux look like they are going to be going with the same composition that Rogue ran on defense last time.
All right, cool. So we've got Nox now. I would love it if he stuck with the Junkrat, but I don't think he will. I think he'll probably play Lucio at times. But Tavik probably going to stick with that Hanzo. We do see that a lot from him.
Gotta love Observer mode, man. When she shoots the icicles, they come out of her gun red, but when they hit the wall, they're blue.
Yep.
That's not confusing.
Got a little bit to work on yet with that one. Yeah. AKM, what's he going to switch to? Reaper wouldn't be a bad choice.
Yeah, Tavik loves going Hanzo on this first point right here and has a tendency to switch to Pharah for the streets in the Foundry phase.
You know, I think they're just going for some picks here to start off with. I mean, Nox could theoretically just throw a couple grenades out there and help out. AKM looking for some headshots. If they get a pick here, it could be a very fast point A take. Punch that ground. Yeah, take that.
Well, Korean Junkrat says good day, mate, too. Interesting.
Good day, mate. All right, looking for it, looking for it. Reinhardt on the run immediately here.
Yeah, that's not going to work. So Nox is not going to switch. All right,
oh,
no,
yeah, we're into
double
Troll
sniper
Town here.
And Junkrat.
Yeah, we've taken the one-way train to Troll Town.
Nobody can stand on the point. They have to get like 2 or 3 picks before they can actually take this point now. Because
I love it. I love it. Oh, that's 4 health for AKM. He's got to be careful here. Yeah, take those healing syringes.
Okay, AKM is not the best Widowmaker I've ever seen.
Hey, man, he's played all of like 30 seconds now. Give him some time. Give him a chance here.
Well, Nox is killing
Nox.
everybody, so.
Samtol, and they're just going to go ahead and take point A. And I think, you know, if we're going back to Mortal Kombat finishers again, we might have to bring out the humility? No, I don't know. Fatality.
Fatality.
Brutality.
I think brutality is appropriate.
There you go.
Well,
Humiliation.
not really much to say about this Noah. This comp is absolutely terrible. And
Terribly awesome, you mean.
it should not work, but you know what? Rogue is pretty damn good at Overwatch, so.
Well, it's like I say in my solo queue games. At this elo, anything's fine. And I think we've kind of reached that point in this match too, you know? Uh-oh. Problems. There goes the Dragon Strike. Tavik trying to get something done. Yuck kind of on his
Nano
own.
boost.
Run away, man. Yeah, that nano boost. You need to get a little bit more of that, buddy. Russo gets the kill. There's a nano boost that's used well. And Flashlux wins the fight. I think maybe Rogue might have to swap heroes a bit.
I think maybe you should nano boost your Hanzo, and they do actually pay for that. The payload is going to roll backwards. It would be embarrassing if they lost. There's the Pharah coming in from Tavik, so they are going to make some changes here.
Yeah, but Nox is going to stay on that Junkrat. No, he's not. I wish he
on
was.
No,
He's
they're
not.
switching to a real comp now.
All right.
They're now afraid that Flashlux did win that first engagement in the streets,
Yep.
the mean streets of London.
Well, it's mean for Omnix anyway. Graviton Surge comes in. Oh, nice response by Reinforce with that Earth Shatter. That kind of stuffs the push from Flashlux. They get that sound barrier as well, but Reinforce with a kill on the Hamtall already. Swinging away now on that Reinhardt. Got plenty of health left to work with. He's going to go forward. There goes Wiso. Meanwhile, Reinforce going to take a little bit of a nap here. Tavik goes down, and Flashlux will actually hold again.
Well, Noah, they came in with some pretty big ult advantages
so.
because of the number of switches that we saw from the Rogue side and them throwing out absolutely everything in that first fight. They still have a long time, nearly 4 minutes to work with, so shouldn't be too much of an ask. Aquino does have the Genji ultimate, however.
All right, here we go. Going right through the Maywall. Not going to get stopped if the heroes are cleared off of it. Aquino does get AKM. That Nano Blade doing a lot of damage, or just regular Blade. Didn't even have the Nano Boost. Aquino being a hero now on this Genji. Needs one more on Tavik. Gonna take a break though for the moment. Reinforce with 2. There's the charge. Oh, he misses though. That was his own Zarya, so it doesn't really matter. There's the barrage, and there's the win for Rogue. Got a bit crazy at the end there. I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at, but
what
in
happened
the end,
was,
it was a Rogue win.
What happened was we saw the Dragon Blade go down from the Genji, but they nano boosted Reinforce's Reinhardt, and he just killed the back line. So pretty easy fight there, win for Rogue. Straightforward as straightforward can be. And as soon as the nano boost came down onto the Genji, the barrage was there.
Yep.
And Aquino was taken out by the Pharah ultimate.
All right, well, what do you expect? This is kind of what we were thinking we were going to see coming into this best of 5, and you know, it's not it feels bad being so harsh on Flash Lux, but this is an amateur team against a pro team when it's all said and done. I mean,
Yes, precisely.
yeah. So Flash Lux, you know, props to them for making it this far, but I think they have certainly met their match in Rogue.
I think Apex, when we get to the bracket phase, should be quite exciting.
Yeah.
But some of these teams, their first real shot, their crack here on stage. Meanwhile, Rogue has been on the World Tour recently, hitting up all the major Overwatch tournaments, so that'll be a 2-0 so far for them.
That's right. Don't go anywhere, guys. When we come back, Flash Lux versus Rogue, game number 3. Be back right after this.
게 좋을 것 같아. 나 이거 끝까지.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
And welcome back to the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 with Doe and Monte Cristo. And you're looking at Flashlux, a amateur team that came into the tournament. Looked, it was a messy first match for them. They got the win, but now they're running into the real pros, and they are struggling pretty hard against Rogue.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't really bode well for them when they have to play against Africa Blue later this week either. Africa Blue was rather convincing in the thumping they delivered to RG Titan.
Yep, very true. And Rogue having no issues at all so far, taking out them on Nepal 200% to 0, and then Kings Row nearly holding the point A, and then winning pretty easily after that. Temple of Anubis will be our third map.
Yeah, well, looks like we're going to see more Junkrat then. Civic loves to play Junkrat on Temple defense. One of his specialties. And we get a lot of heroes that a little bit out of meta or slightly underrepresented in the meta, let's say, this evening.
Yeah, unless Nox plays it on offense anyway. Or hey, they took the first point with it. It's legit.
They did take point A with
legit.
Hanzo, Widowmaker, Junkrat, the worst composition imaginable. And maybe if he bugs for the camera a little bit more, he'll get voted into Team Sweden for the next Overwatch World Cup.
The campaign starts now.
That's right.
That's right. We got a whole year. We got a whole year to get reinforced.
On the campaign trail for
reinforced for Team Sweden 2017. I'll vote for him. I'll become a Swedish citizen just to vote for him. It's gonna be a lot of work. I'm gonna have to leave for a while. You're gonna have to cast by yourself.
Okay.
But we gotta get reinforced in there. Well, right now, Flashlux has got to get a win in there if they want to stay alive in the series. Let's see if they can do it on Temple of Anubis.
I get it.
You know, Rogue is sponsored by Steve Aoki, right?
Yeah, I met
him
the other day.
I saw that. That's awesome. What you should have done when you met him is asked if he could remix our McCree Bang 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 song for one of his next tracks. Wouldn't that be awesome? We should all tweet at him and tell him he should do that.
The Korean McCree remix.
That's right.
A McCree mix.
McCree mix, if you will. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Nice. Considered Doa.
Yeah, great minds, you know. That's what they say.
Okay.
Here we go.
Well, Rogue has gone full solo queue.
Yeah. He even fired a grenade there. He's like, hey, I just put a trap in front of your door. You know it's there. So if you die to this, there's no excuse.
Yeah, normally, as we learned from Reinforced, Tavik likes to put his traps right there, where he's standing right now, and he does move.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
That is Tavik's favorite trap location on the left side entrance.
If Flashlux, now they're going to have to check for it. Yeah, okay, it's fine. They're okay. Ooh,
The mind games.
Nearly gets a snipe onto Rogue there. Get things with it.
So going to go Taimu style with the Widowmaker on point A attack here on Anubis. Great sight lines, of course, but you got to hit those shots and not get beamed by a McCree.
Well, Nox is a little bit lucky there. He was out from behind the Reinhardt shield. He could have died pretty easily. Speaking of dying easily, Wiso jumped in. His team didn't follow. He went down very quickly.
Well, he didn't have cover fire from the Widowmaker right there, so that was rather awkward. And you can see all of Rogue just falling back right now, except for The Junkrat spam coming in from Tavik. He's staying out of sight lines right now with the Widowmaker, and everybody else just piled into the corner behind Reinforce's shield. They know how to deal with this Widow, Noah.
And here comes Hamtal on the side, dashing through for the damage, trying to charge up that Dragon Blade. Meanwhile, Wiso jumps in again on the Winston. Plenty of health still to work with. Aquino had to back out to get healed as he goes back in. There's a nice shot onto Reinforce, looking for a bit more damage. Rogue was pushed back off of that high ground there. Hamtal kind of on his own, and he's going to run for it. Meanwhile, I hear Primal Rage going down. Aquino gets a kill on the AKM. That could be big, but here comes Riptire looking for some targets. Is he going to find anybody? Going up, going over, and gets Aquino. He finds him. All right, well, death from above, I guess.
A long road to the Widowmaker there, crawling up to the top of the archway, but we see Hoptol right here, but he's going to get trapped actually, killed by a Fire Strike.
That Sound Barrier came in at the last possible second to save Tavik, but it ended up working out. A Junkrat remains alive.
Yeah, they still have so many ults to work with too, Noah. They use the Sound Barrier, they use the Riptire, but everybody else working their way up in terms of percentage. Flashlux is going to have some tools available for him. There's the Graviton Surge coming up right now, but they've got to make this push work. Here we go.
There it is, yeah, going for the Tobalstein, but no, it's actually going to be used on Flashlux instead. AKM picks one off, gets some flashbang down onto Wiso. Wiso dives out again on that Winston. That's going to be about it.
Yeah, the problem that Flashlux is having is that they haven't been able to coordinate their Winston and Genji dives at the same time, so Wiso is sort of getting left out to dry quite a bit here. And Rogue, better use of their ultimates this game, Noah. They only committed one, just the Graviton Surge. Well, they committed the Deadeye as well.
Oh, here we go. There's a Dragon Blade available too. There goes AKM. Nox wins, all going down. Hamtal with 3 before he's finally taking on the fight for the moment. Gets the nano boost, backs away. Looks like Flashlux finally going to take point A. I gotta say, that was a well-executed team fight. That's the wombo combo that they were looking for all game long.
Yeah, they had to use everything but the Primal Rage, though, Doa. That's the big downside. Hyuk also burned his Sound Barrier, and without the Sound Barrier on the side of Rogue, very unlikely they were going to be able to survive that. However, they're not going to be able to really snowball this point, basically at all.
They're going to try.
They just don't have the tools to do it. Yeah, Tavek and Wins are going to switch over, just change up those heroes a little bit, over to Winston and Mei.
Aquino, I don't think he hit the flashbang, but he got enough damage onto Wins anyway. That's a Deadeye to work with.
Hyuk is dead though, so they have no Lucio to get them into position for this fight. Gonna try and get some extra damage down, but he will be booped away.
Boop. It's not just for Lucio anymore. Now it's Sombra that also has a boop as well.
Everybody just boops in Overwatch, I guess.
I guess so. Meanwhile, Rogue boops Flashlux off of this Mortal Coil.
Is that
Boop, you're dead.
Boop them out of this Mortal Coil.
Yes, I believe that's how it was used in poetry in the 17th century.
Really, I use it in the great poem, I Like Big Boops and I Cannot Lie.
My other Sombras can't deny. All 6 of them on every quick play game on the PTR. Or rather arcade game, not quick play anymore.
Change that one up.
Yep.
Okay, well, Rogue, they've got basically every tool to work with right now. Flashlight's trying to get back up there, but it'll be a while before they have Sound Barrier. Pummel
on Zarya. He's firing into the point here. The Maywall splits some people up. Actually, we saw a little bit of trouble there. Let's back away on the Reinhardt. Meanwhile, Hamtal's still getting a little bit of damage done. He's got the Dragon Blade to work with again. They want that combo. Meanwhile, Primal Rage used. That's going to push Flashlux back, buying Rogue a little bit more time, and they've got 5 out of 6 ults available. Wins had his until he used it just a moment ago, too.
Yeah, Flashlux is going to be looking at a 6 ult push here, but considering that there is a Blizzard.
Wow, welcome to the Ult-pocalypse. Here we go. Pumple coming in, gets it with the Earthshatter, though he may not get to use it. Meanwhile, Blizzard used by Rogue as they force back Flashlux. 3 kills already coming in. Flashlux wisely saving their ultimates, though. Only the Sound Barrier remains for Rogue. That could be a bit tricky next push.
At least they have a defensive ult to use, but yeah, Flashlux has an extraordinary opportunity. Again, we've seen Rogue overcommit to using ults on that point. They didn't have to throw everything at Flashlux right there, so Flashlux has a very realistic ability right now to push this and complete point B.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw them execute a good wombo combo on point A, so this is their big chance as they come in. And Rogue needs to be careful not to overextend a little bit.
they are being annoyed by this Winston.
Now that's actually working pretty well. There's the Graviton Surge. All right, they're going to use it. Where's the follow-up? Oh, there's the follow-up. Tavik goes down. Aquino gets a kill there. Looking for a bit more. Has that Deadeye. Not going to use it right now as he's getting chased away by Wins on that Winston.
Yeah, they panicked. Rogue got in their faces. They
so.
managed to charge the Winston and the Reinhardt ultimates by playing forward, especially with that Winston. And Flashlux, they get nervous. They pop the sound barrier too early before they can properly engage, and that means that it's going to be rough now. Flashlux had a super good opportunity right there, but they got flustered when Rogue got aggressive.
Oh, that hurts too. Wins gets a kill on the Hamtal, and that's a huge split spawn now. Flashlux is going to have to wait another, 10, 20 seconds to get set up, and with less than 2 minutes remaining, time is really kind of becoming a big factor here.
And Tavik's going to have the Blizzard back, the primary defensive ability, which they're going to be using to try and hold on to this point.
Man. Wins just wrecking people. That's another huge split spawn.
Yep, Wins did a great job. Flashlux having difficulty coordinating around their attacks on this point. We saw it on point A2 where they couldn't really keep track of each other and ended up getting picked off, or we saw Wiso overextending on that Winston just a little bit too much.
Wiso overextending.
Wiso overextended.
Right. Wiso excited, Wiso overextending. That's the missing verse for Rebecca Black's Friday. Wiso goes down. Wiso going down. The push has failed. Amtal has to back away. AKM's already gotten a couple kills for Rogue. There's no way Flashlux is making this happen now. There goes Pumple. The unfortunately named Pumple.
Popped. Pumple was popped by Reaper.
It was a Pumple Dumple.
Flashlux coming back up. They need that sound barrier, but they only have 45 seconds to get it up there. Should be in time, but they've got one good push left in them, and the Blizzard is still there.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, though. It's not going to happen.
I don't think it will. Just waiting this one out. Flashlux, they gotta go now. This is it, but AKM fighting, gets the heals from Unko, and that's a nice sleep on the Winston. Amtal, though, coming in at the Dragonblight, gets hit with the Earth Shatter. Clutch play by Reinforce to secure this for Rogue. Aquino gets two, though.
Wall was
with
late.
the McCree. This could be big. Tavik pops that ice barrier. Aquino finds himself face-to-face with the Reinhardt, but no. Reinforce has to back away. Tavik on his own now. Flashlux, have they actually found themselves an opportunity here? Hamtal does kill Reinforce. We're into overtime. But man, the respawns on this point are so fast.
Tavik was also hiding behind the wall, staying on the point, and there we go. Nano Boost was still up, so was the Death Blossom.
That should be about it.
Yeah,
they back away.
We saw Unko and AKM die before being able to use their ult, so once the respawn comes through, Beyblade works its rather simple magic, and that'll clear everybody off the point. But still a little bit shaky there by Rogue, even more shaky by Flashlux. I think they had some good patience to save up their ultimates, but they just didn't have the coordination to capitalize off the huge ultimate advantage.
Yeah. I admittedly, I don't think we're seeing Rogue play the most serious games of their lives here right now. But, I mean, this is still still amateur team, but they've made it this far. They still need to be taken semi-seriously, and I think Rogue felt it right there.
Yeah, and Rogue is overcommitting the number of ults that they need to use in some of these fights.
Yeah, they are.
That is certainly an issue that we're seeing right now. They don't have to invest as heavily in their ultimates as they are currently doing. Rogue, AKM may be on that Widowmaker one more time. We may see another double sniper attack here.
Okay.
Like we saw.
Nox on the Mercy as well, possibly. So we could see Tavik switch from that Genji over to the Pharah as well, but I mean, you can just kind of pocket heal a Genji too, I suppose. Doesn't work quite as well.
This style of composition is very punishing if an enemy team is not positioned properly. If they're not able...
Get off of there. Take that.
If they're not able to try and group up behind a Reinhardt shield, right now Flashlux is not showing a Reinhardt at all. So a couple of snipers here could be highly deadly. Flashlux needs to make sure that they can keep out of line of sight. That's tough. It could be tough on this first point. I'm pretty sure Rogue is going to run this, though.
Yeah, it's kind of looking that way.
Reinforce.
Getting the Sonic Arrow ready to go. I think you're probably going to see him toss that one out there. No, okay.
They're going to switch
There
over
we
to the
go.
Winston.
Yeah.
So.
I thought maybe he was going to use the arrow and then switch, but nope, switching right away. AKM with that Widowmaker. Let's see what he can get. Oh, nearly takes out the Genji. That was a close shot. Didn't land it, though. You need to land those. Hamtal forcing him back. That's a problem for the Widowmaker. Gets the heals at the last moment, but you need to hit those shots if you're AKM.
Yeah.
Oh, goodbye. Meanwhile, Reinforce takes out Aquino.
Reinforce gets taken out by Aquino.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, and so they have to fall back right now. It is a bit tough. Ideally, what Rogue wanted to do here was dive with the Winston and the Genji and open up space for AKM. Try and just deal with Pumple, get him occupied with the front line of Rogue so that there would be a lot of free shots, but it's not working out that way so far. AKM decides maybe it's not the time to play Widowmaker, and he is going to swap over to Reaper.
It's about as far away from the Widowmaker as you can get. Ooh,
Oh.
goodbye. I'm tall, taking up Vic. That was a ninja vanish right there. Man. Winds powering up that Graviton Surge. And we will see if Rogue can make any headway here at the point. But yeah, they need to take this one seriously. AKM looping around the side, trying to flank with this Reaper. Where'd that heal come from? Oh. Or in. Hamtal, there's a nano boost now into AKM. He's going to go in. After the Zarya, taking a lot of damage though. Needs to be careful. Looks like he will get the kill onto Wiso in the end though. AKM with that one. Meanwhile, Hamtal pulls out the Dragon Blade, takes down Winds, kills on both sides, and Rogue not really able to make much headway on the point.
No, the difference was there was no Death Blossom right there for Rogue because AKM had just swapped over. So Nano Blade plus the Genji ultimate a little bit more efficient there. And honestly, Rogue probably should have saved that Nano boost for Tvik, who is much closer to getting an ult. AKM not able to get much done through the sound barrier.
Wow, the assassination onto Kisu. Reinforce gets that kill with the Winston. Tvik helping out quite a bit there. There's a Graviton Surge. Tvik, he's got the Dragon Blade, not electing to use that right yet. Rogue gets out of the Graviton Surge. There wasn't really a big follow-up for Flashlux, and with that sound barrier, Rogue looks like they're just going to kind of tear through. Flashlux, bunch of kills coming in. That's going to be about it. Kisu the only one left, but that's just because he died the first.
And guess what, Doa? 4 ults still available here for Rogue.
Yeah.
Only the Death Blossom right now for Flashlux. Wiso going to swap to the Reinhardt. So this means very powerful push coming. If they can get Unko up, that remaining 20%, it's going to be very difficult for Flashlux to defend this.
Yeah, that's right. You know, has the Death Blossom.
That's it.
Needs to make it work. Needs to make it count. Hamtal's got the Dragon Blade now.
Yep, Unko also with the Nano Boost. This should be go time here.
Here we go. Nano boost onto Tvik. He's coming in with the Dragon Blade. Takes out Kisu, looking for a little bit more. There goes Weasel Hamtal and Tvik with a huge play on that Genji. That's working pretty well. And Rogue's going to get some quality time with point B here. And if they take it, they're going to take not only Temple of Anubis, but this entire best of 5. Get very, very close. Flashlux, Desperation Diva, but it's not enough. And Rogue will win the map or end the match 3-0.
And that means, Doa, that Rogue has yet to drop a single map here at Apex.
Yeah.
And they'll be happy about that one. They will leave Group A in the pole position #1. And that will set them up for a pretty nice quarterfinal matchup at what we probably assume will be a pretty deep run here in Korea.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Rogue, you know, they had a couple moments here where they looked a little bit sloppy, but after that first map, and maybe after that second map too, I don't think they were taking it quite as seriously as they would take, you know, some of the other games we're going to be seeing them play a little bit later. So easy win for Rogue. And Flashlux going to find themselves 1-1 in the group. But
still a chance to get out. If
They
they
still
can beat
can, yeah.
Africa Blue, seems unlikely given the team's current forms, but Flashlux bouncing back here. They did have some at least nice combos there on the last couple of maps.
yeah, not doing themselves any favor in the game score department, though, with a 0-3 loss. But what can you say? You know, not really a whole lot to break down with that one. That was just Rogue just kind of outclassing Flashlux.
Certainly not too terribly much to say. We'll probably have a lot more interesting play from Rogue in the quarters and semis and possible finals when they hit some of their tougher opponents. And
That's right.
that's when the question marks about potentially Rogue's ult overcommitment, because good teams are going to punish that pretty hard.
Oh, it's reinforcing the rest of Rogue into the booth. Shake hands. Reinforce. Gotta watch your head there, man. That booth ceiling, lower than it looks.
Only for him. Only if you're like 6'8".
That's right. So when we come back, looking forward to our next best of 5 here tonight. BK Star is going to be taking on Energy. That one could actually end up pretty close, so definitely one you'll want to stick around for. And again, that next best of 5, whoever wins goes through. Obviously Rogue already going through in Group A, but just double super confirming it now. And that's it for the moment. Quick break, and when we come back, a winner's interview with Rogue, and then BK Stars versus Energy here on the Overwatch Apex Season 1. Gonna be fun.
Brought to you by our buddies over at Intel, right, Noah?
That's right. Good old Intel. Thanks so much. Thank you for watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with another match right after this.
Coming up next, BK Stars, NRG.